Okay. At this point, all the measurements and marking has been completed. And with a 4H pencil, all the construction lines are done. So just to let you know what I was doing when I was off camera. These marks are 44 over, 45-degree lines here as well as there and there. And then it was 50 millimeters down to the top of the STOP, which I marked and drew a line across, and then another 50 millimeters took me down to the next one. And then there's 9 millimeters to the letters from the sides from here. And then each letter is 25 millimeters wide. And this is where the blueprint reading comes in. So here it says 25 millimeters for the T, and because it doesn't list it for the SOP, they're soon to be the same. The space between letters is 6 millimeters, and so the other spaces will be the same unless otherwise shown. And then letters are 7 millimeters wide, so I was able to draw lines for all of those. Once again, construction lines, and for finding where the inside of the O is, inside the P, the bottom of the P here, and the S there. And the only one different was the T, this lower part is centered, so it was 9 millimeters over. So all these lines have been drawn based on those measurements. And so once again, with the scale, I had marked 9 millimeters, then 25 more, and an additional 6. And I measured everything on one side to minimize my errors. Now I have a whole lot of mess of lines in there, and it's the job now to go back and make them all into object lines. So there are no hidden lines in this drawing. There are no center lines. Everything is going to be an object line. So the best way to do that is just to, I put the pencil on the paper because my eyes aren't that good. I'm getting old. So I make sure I know where the start and stop point is. Then I carefully, using good line technique, I pull the pencil across. Usually I don't point in the direction I'm going. I'm just doing that because it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. There you go. There's one object lines, and then continue on. So these are retrace lines. I don't have to use instruments any longer because I used them already to make sure I got the locations of the lines in construction lines. And I just carry on around the drawing, just like that. Some of these points you can see because I made it a little bit darker for your learning. Yeah, let me just carry on. It'll take a little while, but that's the gist of it. All right, so we found the center line with crisscross or lines from corner to corner. From there, we measured out half of the width towards the right, half the width towards the left. And then from that same center point, we found half the height to the top, half the height to the bottom. We made a box the whole object fit into. Then went back and following the drawing, we located features. And when we knew where the start and stop of the features were, even if we didn't, initially we drew construction lines, and then when we knew where they start and stop, we could go back and do the object lines. So I'm going to pause here again, and I'll show you how it looks when it's done. Next video.